Good afternoon, movement snackers and snack mates. And I think we've had smackers before, haven't we? Snackettes. I like that. That was brought up the other day. Kelsey Leverton and the snackettes. How about that? Today is, well, we're getting ready for our 4 p.m, our sway and stretch. We're on day 2 today because Dave covered me on Monday. I've got a little add-on for you today. And, of course, that good old stretch for our top halves and bottom halves and all of those muscles that typically and notoriously get tight. Throughout the activities that you're doing, they might get tighter, or actually just throughout the progression of life, muscles can get tighter. So here we are with a focus on flexibility. If you're here on catch up, feel free to skip along to the main event, the Cirque Boost Sway and Stretch. And if you have time, because we understand that you're busily crowbarring us in amongst other things that you're doing, if you've got time, just leave us a hi and a bye, or just even a bye. A bye hi, hi bye, all in the same go. It doesn't matter. Yes, Ken, I had a little spludush in the stream. Luckily, it wasn't at full height, but the bank was really steep. And it was literally, you know, like you've always got that kid that falls in a cow pat or gets soaking wet just as you've managed to get outdoors. That was me today. So I was a bit squelchy in the old shoe department, but much better now, warmed up. Just put my Later Life t-shirt on over my waving traffic jumper, Illuminous jumper. You'll never lose me in this, will you? But yeah, we're all good on that note now. And of course, everyone had a giggle at my expense, which is fine. I can take it. Sue Tilly's in. Good afternoon to you, Sue. Mrs. P's just clocked in as well. Gillian with a J reporting cold and cloudy. Yeah, it was really weird yesterday, wasn't it? We ended up playing football in about that much high of slush, which and then it was sunshine 10 minutes later. It's not been quite as drastic today, but once the wind hits you, it's pretty darn cold, that's for sure. Right, who else is coming in for this sway and stretch? Let's see. Uh-oh, they've just disappeared. Oh, I've turned you around. That's better. You just had a 360 of my lounge there as well. I didn't even know that could do that. What time is it? It's 58. Right, let's say some more hellos then. Maddie's in. Carol Kent's in. LOCK. Hello, Gillian. Sandra's in. You've been for your 8 miles today. Oh, man. You are ready for a stretch then, I'm sure of that. And you've still got a noon to catch up on. Do you know what? I think you might have done a good deal of your fair share there of moving. No cuts or bruises, but I did get a stinger. Got a bit of a stinger on me where I tried to hold a tuft of grass to stop me from sliding vertically down the bank. And the knee held out as well, which I'm quite glad about. Else we might have had to have got the chopper in to come and collect me up off the ground. Well, out of the water. Right, let's see. We're not far off, people. We've got a healthy 10 people in. And of course, where we went, it's called Wistow. It's lovely. And I've got a garden centre. So we'll come back with some rhubarb plants. And 2 varieties of, what are they? Raspberries. 2 varieties of raspberries. One of them's upside down, I think, yeah. So we'll get them, when I've got my 3 to 4 tonnes worth of topsoil in there, we'll get them planted. Dread to think how much I'll need a sway and a stretch after that. Kathy's in. Hello, Kathy. Last couple of hellos then, and then we must be about ready. Gillian with a G's in. We've got Gillian with a J. We've got Mrs. P. So that means we've got the full Port Talbot posse. And I think that's about us. It's 4 o'clock. Shall we do this? Hello, Jill and Malcolm. And Pat Haynes. Hello to you too. Right, we're going to do this then. We've got our 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. It's officially 4 p.m. It's time for our final movement snack of the day, although crowbarring is always optional and crowbar-inable throughout your early evening into evening. I had a jolly good night's sleep last night. I went to bed, I snuck upstairs at 8:30 in the evening and I swear I was asleep for 9. So I'm rip-roaring ready to go for this sway and stretch. Check your space, check your area. Make sure that your chair is sturdy to sit down in and that you have some external support available to you. And that might be a heavy bit of furniture, it might be a windowsill, a work surface, a tabletop, anything like that. We'll begin, as we always begin, with a circulation boosting and a posture check. So you probably know what I'm going to say. Feet hip distance apart, standing evenly or sitting evenly across your buttocks, lifting, lengthening through your middle bits, creating space between ribs and hips. And I guess the only area that we want to press down is the shoulders. Lengthen through your neck and standing taller, just that bit taller. Start some pedaling then. Now in seated, you can copy exactly everything that's offered in the standing position, but you might want to bring yourself via some hip walk, some lifting and shifting into the front portion of the chair. And this is where you've not got the backs of your thighs supported anymore, it's just your bottom. Sitting tall, lengthening through, using the support at the side of the chair, but trying not to hunch your shoulders. Press them down, light hold. I've gone into a leg march already, so this is the lifted version of the foot pedal. And just find yourself a bit of a pace, a bit of a rhythm. Shouldn't be too fast, shouldn't be too intense, but it should just be enough to warm us up. Warm the muscles, warm the joints, increase the circulation around to all your bits and pieces, and you'll probably notice a little lift in your heart rate and your breathing rate as well. Add in an arm swing if you like, and in standing, you can keep hold of your support, swap sides at any point, or you can just bring in both arms into the mix. So this is a swing, driving back with the elbows and really swinging, moving through the shoulders. Now hopefully you've got a bit of opposite arm to leg on the go and you're able to, now I've just made you think about it, it'll probably go to pot. But that normally happens the minute we get you to think about your coordination, it kind of goes a bit on the off. But find yourself a rhythm and a pace that you're comfortable with. If your legs are getting a bit tired in the hips, and this can especially happen in seated, or if you've been on an 8-mile walk, Sandra, then just take a pause with your legs and just have a go at moving through the arms. Or vice versa, if your arms have had enough, just keep moving through the legs. There you go. Either or, whichever way. As long as by the end of the couple of 3 minutes that we do in Circ Boost, you feel that warm fuzz around your body. You might need to take a couple of deeper breaths as well. Nothing too huff and puff though. Right, so just take a moment there, you and your posture, you in your front room or your kitchen or wherever you're pitched up to do your sway routine. And we're going to move into it. We started with a floaty arm, a double floaty arm yesterday. So if you just like to start moving into this. Now the wrists are loose, the fingers are loose, and you kind of lead the movement up with the wrists. Elbows come to perhaps no higher than shoulders. You can perhaps just see there that my hands are just coming slightly higher than shoulders. But it's a position where your shoulders can still stay down and relax, no hunching or lifting through them. In standing, feel free to take up some support and just move the one arm at a time and swap sides when you're ready for the other side to get involved. Here with the legs, we're going to continue with the arms, and we're going to start to lift the heel and press it back down again. So in standing, there's a little bit of shift of weight. You can come onto the ball of the foot there, or if you want to, you can roll it up right onto the tip of your shoe. Right onto the tip. So we're lifting the ball of the foot off the floor, but there's no weight going through your tippy toe. Just a small shift of weight. Feet are not too wide. The wider they are, the more of a shift of weight you'd have to do, and you'd look like and feel like you were blowing in the wind there. And you can replicate exactly this in seated. Take a pause there. Here's a change on our movement. We're going to try and go up, up, down, down, with a bit of a ripple there. Up, up, down, down. Same movement. And if you're using your support, you can go from your support rather than from a lower position with your hands. Just take another one on that side. Relax and pause. Now everything we do we'll repeat using the other side. So have a go at just that ripple, leading with the opposite side. Ripple up and down. From your support or freestanding or seated, it's up to you. One more on that side will do us nicely. And take a pause there. Now we will bring some leg movements to join that tomorrow, and we're going to press on with the arm movements. So from here, take your arms out to the side, round, let them wave across each other and open back up. Let's wave across once again, and then bring them back to your side, and we're going to do a rowboat action, up, over, round and down. Just a couple of those, have a practice of, and we will only need one of these in our full routine. So let's go from the out position. So out, round, crisscross over, repeat that again. Let the arms come back floating down to the side. Hold on to your imaginary rowboat, give one rowboat roll, and then a floaty arm to finish. There we have the complete arm sequence. So we'll go through that a couple of times. Feet are optional into it. If you just want to focus through your arms, then that's great. You do what feels right for you there. If you want to be near your support, again, think about how you're feeling balance-wise. And I guess just with using arms, if you've got a surface that you could lean against, so a wall or a worktop or something like that, the arms can be practiced perhaps a bit more freely with the wall or whatever it is supporting your balance. Right, so feet not too wide. Let's do our double with heel raise. Heel raise 1, floaty arms down. Heel raise 2, floaty arms down. Get ready for the ripple. So I've gone right, left, and do another one of those with the same leading arm. Circle round and in front, crisscross in front, take it wide, take it back in, crisscross in front, come down to your side, grab the rowboat, come up, round, over and down, and finish off with a floaty arm thing that we began the routine with. Let's go again, but with the opposite side leading with those heel lifts. So when you're ready, lift and ripple, ball of the foot or onto your tippy toe. Lift and ripple. Opposite side leads the ripple this time. So 1, 2, and the same again, 1, 2. Arms out wide, coming across for a crisscross across the chest. About shoulder height there. Have a go again with that. Floating arms down by your side, grasping your imaginary rowboat, or an over, round, down again, and then the lift and float to finish off. There we have a kind of complete sway routine. All right, we're going to now move into our flexibility part. So tight muscles, go away, make some room for these stretches in the day, and we can start to improve your muscle flexibility. We'll begin with a chest stretch, so it's up to you if you'd like to stay in standing. You might want to go a bit wider with your feet, palms on the side of your hips or back of your hand, and either way, squeeze your shoulder blades back together. Try and flap your elbows and tuck them behind you as well. And you should start to feel a stretch in your chest. Here in seated, arms relaxed and loose towards the back of the chair. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Try and lift through your chest so that you can feel space and length in your abdomen. And just hold it there. Try not to bounce or jerk any of these stretch positions. Just really hold it. Take a few longer, deeper breaths, and you're feeling some stretch tension and tautness. Sometimes the breathing focused in on the stretch can help your body just to switch off and relax into it a little bit more. Relax, recover, take a slump if you like. And we're going to go into, staying with the top half, our upward side stretch. Now normally I'm going to come a bit closer, but if you want to stay in standing, when we go for the full reach, you might want to hold on to your external support, and in seated, holding on to the side of your chair if you like. Here we go. Choose your arm, take it towards your shoulder, lift it up as far as it will go. Now, some shoulders will go further than others. So don't worry about what mine looks like. Just worry about how not really worry, just think about how yours feels and what's right for you. If you can, at any point, progress the movement by just maybe lifting the elbow up a touch more, getting a bit of a stretch into the trunk as well. Helping with reaching actions that require arms to go upwards in an upwards direction, stretching above your head. Take a deep breath in, lift, 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 and relax down. Staying on the same side, you can either go for that exact same stretch again, or start to extend the arm, reach the arm. We should be getting a bit down the side, but now we're going to go for that little bit more. So dip the opposite shoulder, 3, 2, 1, and get out of it. Come down, catch the elbow, support the arm down if you feel you need to. Other side maybe? Right. Hand onto the shoulder then. Lifting and guiding, walking the fingers over as far as they can go. Now at this point your chest is, your shoulders are level. Lift a bit more. If you can, do that with a deep breath in. So deep breath in. Lifts everything, lengthens everything, gets a bit of stretch down your side, come out of it, and either go into that exact same position again for a second time over, or take a reach upwards. Shoulders are still level here, but now with an extra reach, we can dip the shoulder, lengthen all the way down from fingertips to the top of your hips, and then ease on out of it. Right, we're moving on to legs now. So if you're not joining us into the leg stretches today, then feel free to have a practice of your sway routine, or repeat those couple of upper body stretches that we've just done, or even just give yourself a bit of a Bex hug in there. It's up to you. I'll leave it with you. Here's the back of thigh stretch then. So a really important muscle group to get flexible. get more flexibility into perhaps. Let's straighten out the leg first. We're going to need to focus on this not being felt in the calf. And the way we do this is just loosen the ankle. Point the toes away from you. Here we go with a bit of a check on posture. Posture first. That might bring a stretch in, but if it doesn't, start to ease yourself forwards, tilting from the hips, not rounding. So keep the chest lifted, keep gazing straight ahead, ease into it, go as far as feels comfortable, but comfortable is it brings in a mild discomfort, if that at all makes sense, into the back of the knee and up towards your hip. Helping with stride length, longer leg positions that we get into, bending and reaching down and getting towards those all important feet. For drying between toes, clipping, painting toenails of course, and just getting your shoes and socks and bits and pieces on at your feet. Trouser legs and stuff like that. Ease in again and then recover. Right, changing sides then. So long leg, loose ankle, tall extended posture. Just notice the gap between ribs and hips and try and maintain that gap as you steadily ease into your stretch position. Now, we're all different, we're all wired a bit different. So you may be able to lean a little bit further forwards or not quite as forwards at all. You might be really feeling the stretch in the back of your leg, really just focusing on sitting up tall. But over time, hopefully we can progress and ease in and develop flexibility, and the more practice you do, the more focus we have on flexibility, the more we can get out of it, and the more it can benefit our joints as well. Because if muscles are tight, then joints can be restricted. Take a pause there. Right, we've got a seated calf stretch. So long leg, toes pulling up, the body's staying upright in active posture, and you should be able to feel that in the calf area. So we're stretching the calf. Hold that for around 12, 15, 20 seconds and then change sides. And I'll just show you, because some of you might prefer to do this one in standing. Come up close to your external support. Take a decent stride back and adjust that stride as well. Just check that all 10 of your toes are pointing straight ahead, and then the front leg bends as the back leg stays straight, and the stretch pulls into the calf as we've got our heel planted down. Holding it there, staying tall and lengthened through your posture. And if you look, if you've got a reflection of yourself or a mirror, you should be able to see a bit of a diagonal line all the way down to your heel from the top of your head. Have a change sides. And with this stretch, if your feet are just that little bit wider, rather than in the same line as each other, then your balance should be more secure. Front legs bent, back legs straight, easing forwards and lengthening the calf. Take a pause when you've done your quota, and we'll finish off finally just with the stretch that we did yesterday for inner thighs. So I'm just going to turn my chair around to face you. Crowbar in a stand to sit. Adjust your legs out wide. Rather than have the toes pointing forwards, you can see there as I've opened my feet out, I've turned out my knees as well. Come tall in your posture like we did just before that back of thigh stretch. Press onto the inside of your knees and just widen that position a little bit more. You should get some length into the inner thighs. Inner thighs can get quite tight. Our legs are mostly in line with one another. But this is an important position to be able to get your legs in. If you're stepping over something, if you're stepping into something like a car or what have you, then and legs will need to go into those wider set positions. Once you've done that, recover, give yourself a Betsy hug, just one round the other side and the other round the other side, and we're all done. There we have some added extra movement minutes. What have we got? Have we got a bag, a rucksack? We've not got our Easter baskets anymore, but sling them into whatever you've got. It might be a vault of movement minutes that you've got for the time that you've been with us. It must be huge by now. But thank you everyone for joining me for this sway and stretch. Hope the arm movements are coming along nice for you. We'll put some leg movements into it tomorrow, if you like. Completely optional, isn't it? Have a great rest of your day. Crowbarring is optional, remember, but it all makes sense and your body will thank you for it. Thanks a lot, people. I'm going to leave you alone now to get on with your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow at 4.